Welcome to Bandit's Keep Actual Play. I'm Daniel. We're continuing my original Dungeons & Dragons campaign today. We're using Chainmail and Outdoor Survival. Well, last session the Rangers really took it hard. They lost several party members and had to retreat back to camp, town as it would be, to, well, effectively sell off some items and deal with some clerics. We won't dig too much into that right now, but right now, the two remaining party members have recruited a troop, if you will, of archers to see if we can take out these centaurs and get some cash, because right now they are in debt. In the clear, we are only lost on a roll of a 1. 3 means we're not lost. And we're trying to get there as fast as possible, because remember, we are on a time crunch on some level. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's our full movement. We end in the plain. An encounter is only on a 6. No encounter. Day 2, only lost on a 1, not lost. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is there an encounter? There's not. Day 3, are we lost? Day 3, are we lost? Day 3, are we lost? No. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're there. End of the day. I will roll an encounter because we're going to set up camp before we go in. No encounter. Okay, so it is now February 19th. And again, even if we went past the 19th, because I'm in the field, I would just keep going. If I go back to town and it's later than the 22nd, I have to stop until then. All right, so one change I am going to do here from the last time is that before I was saying if there was an encounter in the woods on a 1 or a 2, it's a centaur, and then I'd roll on to see if it was a lair, and on a roll of a 1, it was their lair. In this case, on a 1 or a 2, it's a centaur, but on a roll of 1 through 4, it's the lair. And the reason why I'm doing that is because there's only a handful of them left, and it's likely they'll try to stay at the lair. But of course, they are still going to have to leave occasionally to hunt. So we might encounter them outside the lair, but it's less likely. I've also updated the spells for our one magic user. She's going full on with as many sleep spells as she can. Plus, she's got a phantasmal force and an invisibility if necessary. Everything else is the same. We got the bows, we got the weapons. We're basically good to go. These archers, even though they're going to try not to engage in melee, are also all armed with lances. So if they have to do a charge, they'll at least do some decent damage coming in, even though they'll probably get their butts handed to them in the melee if they last more than one round. So let's just do this. Again, we'll do 10 turns in a day. We've already explored all this. We know the lair's not there, so we're going to go here. We've actually explored the first 3 blocks here. So here we go. 3, we are not lost because we're starting in the clear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because remember, actually, we've already explored this part, so I'm going to count these. We're going to give ourselves some extra movement today. So I'm just going to, in order to do that, since basically you lose half your movement when you're exploring, I'm going to count these as 1, the ones we've already hit, if that makes sense. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can explore 1 new one, because I think that we didn't quite get there last time. So, is there an encounter? Again, in the woods, the encounter is on a 5 or a 6. There is not. Okay. Next turn. Are we lost? 1 or a 2? 1, we are lost. We have to move 1 hex in a random direction. 5. Okay, 5 will push us off the board, so I'm just going to say we stay where we are for 1 hex. And then we can move wherever we want, which is going to be, so we've used 1, well 2 because it's a wood hex, so 1, 2, 3, 4, that's as far as we can move today. Is there an encounter? There is. So I'm going to flip that up so I know that I've done it. On a 1 or a 2, it's a centaur. Not a centaur. Okay, non-centaur encounter. Well, I'm still going to roll on here, and there's a small chance it's still a centaur. I'm going to roll a d6, or I'm sorry, d8, to see what kind of creature it is. Hopefully not that Hydra again. 2 is a flyer, so we know it's not a centaur. I believe that then would be a d12 roll. 12. I think 12 is actually a Balrog, which is very bad. Yep, Balrog. All right. Well, this could be a TPK. All right, Balrog. Let's see what we got. Balrog. 1 to 6 Balrogs. 1. Okay, that is not good for us. We are a big group. It's going to be hard to avoid the Balrog. So before we do anything else, and we're going to run, obviously, but before we do anything else, what we're going to do is I'm going to roll for surprise, because obviously if there's surprise, we're just going to avoid it. Balrog surprise, we are surprised. So we're going to... Here we go. I'll just take these out here. This is a very, very tense situation here. So again, Balrog, us. Okay, nobody is surprised, thankfully. With no surprise, distance is, okay, 80. And I'm not going to roll a reaction. Balrogs are obviously going to be hostile. By the way, it's not impossible for us to avoid them. So let's try that first. We could get lucky. So we are a large group. We are 10 to 24. Number possible, okay, is 1. So let's see. That gives us a 15% chance to avoid them. Now the Balrog is... Oh, actually, even flying, the Balrog is only 15 and we're 24. So it's not faster than us. Unfortunately, we're not twice as fast as the Balrog. So no difference there, but there's a bonus of 25% if you're in the woods. So 15 plus 25 is 40. That's not terrible. Red die first. We have a 40% chance to avoid this Balrog. Oh my god. 4-0. All right. We avoid the Balrog. That is good, because now, though, actually, because we are fairly high level, I don't know how much risk we want to take, but let's see if this is the Balrog's lair. Because I bet you Balrogs have a lot of treasure. 25%. Red's first. Yeah, this is the Balrog lair. Nice. Okay. With 1 Balrog. Well, I mean, we'll re-roll it if we do that. So we've got a Balrog's lair. This is actually very valuable to us because, again, right now we're a low, where we're weakened because we don't have most of the party. But, you know, in a couple of levels, if this party actually survives, Balrog lair, I should say, could be worth hitting. Okay. I probably won't use the same setup, but I'll just put that there for now. Next day, or next turn, rather. Are we lost? We are not. 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously, we can't go the full 5. Is there an encounter? No. Next move. Are we lost? No. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have that extra move, so we'll go there. Encounter. Yes. Is it a centaur? No. Okay. Well, we hit so many centaurs the last time, like right in a row. I mean, thematically, it actually makes sense that we're going to be less likely to run into them because there's so many fewer of them. Okay, so D8 in the woods. Flip this up. 7. Animals. D12. 11. Boars. Okay, so again, I generally you can do regular boars, and there could be a lot of them, which actually, that might make sense in a place like this. We're in a forested area. Obviously, the centaurs are hunting and stuff, so you know what? Let's use the oracle. Are these regular boars, as opposed to giant? So are these just normal boars? Yes, but something bad. So I'm going to say that they're going to be hostile if no matter what happens. So they're going to charge at us if we don't. Is that what that would mean? You know what I mean? Because hostile is not necessarily an extra bad thing happening. Maybe. Okay, you know what? Are these wereboars? Yes. Okay. These are not regular boars, they are wereboars. So we're going to roll on the lycanthropes. So there's 2 to 20 of them. Okay, there's 9, which is just shy of 50%. Well, and we're going to try to avoid them anyways, but hopefully we can. So we're here. We have a 30% chance, but we're in the woods, which is plus, so it's 55. And then additional, we're twice as fast as them because a boar is only 12 movement. So that gives us a 70% chance, no, 80% chance to avoid them. So let's hope that we avoid them because we don't want to find out the hard way they're lycanthropes. 70. Okay, so we avoid them and we just don't know. They're lycanthropes, but I am going to roll to see if it's their lair because, well, I guess it doesn't matter because we're not going to know. So I'm not going to worry about that. So that would have been a bad encounter. And that's kind of cool. Again, that's then the cool thing about an oracle having that extra piece in there. All right, next turn. Are we lost? Yes. 1 hex in a random direction. 4 goes down. So 1, 2. We'll just come back up. 3, 4. And again, we can't move an extra this one. So do we have an encounter? Oh, I gotta keep it inside my tray. No. Are we lost? What am I doing here? Are we lost? No. 1, 2. 3, 4. And then again, we have 5, but we have 1 extra from last time, so 6. Is there an encounter? No. Are we lost? Yes. Wow, we're getting lost a lot today. It's funny, we get lost with a large group. Maybe it's some of the people are kind of wandering off, whatever. All right, we go up. 1, 2. Then we'll come back down. 3, 4. Is there an encounter? Yes. Is it Centaurs? No. All right, they're hiding from us. D8. We'll flip that because we had an encounter. 2. Oof, 2 is flyer again. Let's hope we don't get another Valrogue. 5. Griffins. And we know griffins eat horses, so that's not ideal for us. So we're definitely going to try to avoid them. So let's look up griffins. We need our horses. Griffin's movement is 30, so they're not twice as fast as us, but they are faster than us. There's between 2 and 16 of them. 4. And 8 is 12, so that's 60%, or over 60%. That's good for us. That gives us a 50% chance of avoiding them. Plus we're in the woods, 75% chance. They're not twice, neither one of us is twice as fast, but we have a 75% chance to avoid the griffins. That's 91, so we do not avoid them. Now, before I do anything else, let me just see if this is their lair. It's only a 10% chance it's their lair. It is actually griffin lair. All right, cool. So now, because we did not evade them, or did we not, we did not evade them, we have to move 1 hex in a random direction. 4, which is down. Now, this is something I've had questions on because some of the early ones I did this a little bit wrong, so I'm going to try to make sure I'm doing it exactly right. So, pursuit will take place whenever it is so indicated. A die is rolled. If the monster is faster than the party involved, so it is, there's a 50% chance it will catch the party. So even though we evaded down, even though we moved, it might actually catch us, and we're going to have to deal with 1 round of fleeing or initiative or whatever. So let's see, there's a 50% chance, so 1 through 50, that it will actually catch us. 96, they don't catch us. So because they didn't catch us, now we try to evade again, and our evasion chance was 75, I said? 75. So, can we evade them? Yes. So we evade them this time. So since we evaded them, they don't follow us. But because we spent a turn running, we only get half movement next turn. So we will kind of want to get out of here before the end of the day. So I think we should be fine though. So we'll get 3 movement instead of 2. So are we lost? 2, we're not. Oh no, well, in the woods we are lost on it 2. Yep, we're lost in the woods. We go 6. Okay, well, we actually went back to where we were. And that takes 2, and we only have 1 movement point left. Well, yeah, we only have 1 movement point left, which we can't go anywhere right now. Well, basically what this means is we need to end, we only have 2 turns left. No, that's that turn. Oh, no. Too many things going through my head. Let me go back just to say what happened. Because we got chased, we have to spend half this day resting, right? That means that instead of moving 5, we're going to move 3, basically. Then we rolled and we were lost. We moved 1 in the wrong direction, which costs us 2 movement, which leaves us with 1. We can't go anywhere. There's woods all around us. That's the end of the day. Now we roll for another encounter. 5, this is an encounter. We're going to flip this up because it's an encounter. Is it Centaurs? Yes. Okay. So now, like I told you before, is it in their lair? 1 through 4, this is their lair, and they're all going to be there, all 5 of them. Yes. Okay. We get lost. Actually, we were in that hex yesterday, and we encountered griffins and fled from them. And then we got lost and went back in that direction and stumbled into the centaur lair. So there are only 5 centaurs left, and the lair generally has 4, so I'm just going to say that there's 5 because I don't want to deal with one random centaur wandering around. So let's get our little thing out here. There are 5 centaurs. So there's going to be some important rolls right now, as always. Number 1, is there surprise? Because we learned last time surprise will be very, very bad. Both sides are surprised. So that means there's no surprise. What it does mean, though, is we're going to be relatively close together, in theory. So 2. So we're 6 inches apart, which I guess isn't that close. It's enough that we can get a shot in at them if they charge at us, which is what we want. All right, we're 6 inches apart. Obviously, this is their lair. They are going to defend it. Now, in the lair, as I mentioned before when I first started talking about this, they list like children and females that are basically in the lair that are not combatants. In other words, they don't have weapons. They're not going to charge into combat. Obviously, if we attack them, they will fight back. But once we take out the actual protectors of the lair, they'll flee, right? Their morale will break. So we're not going to go after them because why would we attack something that doesn't have a weapon? So what we're going to do is we're going to attack the actual fighters, okay? So we're going to have 3 of them with morning stars, 1 with a lance and 1 that has a bow. And our plan is to rain arrows down on them and try to stay as far away from them as possible. So let's walk through the first round of combat. Initiative. This is going to be somewhat important because if we win initiative, then because we're so close, we're going to actually do what's called a split move and fire. We're going to move half our move, which is 12. 12. Well, we're going to move up to half our move. So we're going to move. Actually, we're just going to shoot and then move. Basically, we're going to move an inch if you want to call it that, because we don't want to really move further away before we shoot, because of course, I have a short range. But then we're going to move far enough that we can be too far away that they can't actually reach us this round. I did a similar technique with the lycanthropes. If we lose initiative, they're going to charge us, and we're going to rain arrows down on them as they come in. Okay, so here we go. Initiative. Simultaneous. Okay, well, simultaneous means that we're basically going to be able to do it's effectively the same thing as if we won initiative, because they're going to start charging us, but we're going to be moving and firing. So what's going to happen is we're going to, if you think of it board gamey, we're going to move 1 inch, shoot, right? So that then we'll go from 6 inches away from them to 7 inches away from them, right? Then we're going to move the remainder of our move, which is 12, which is then going to put us 19 inches away. But in the course of that, they're going to charge 18 inches. So this first round, they won't be able to get to us. But if they win initiative next round, we won't be able to get this pass-through fire. So it doesn't really protect us, but except for 1 round. And that's what we're going to try to do. And actually, no, I can't move and cast, unfortunately. So the magic user cannot throw their sleep spell. So we have to hope that we're going to do really good with the arrows here. So let's do the party first because they're the simplest. Remember that they're 3, and they only count as 1 because they're using a bow. So between them, they get 2 dice, right? They also get, now, but I'm going to do them separately, but just so you can see. So halfling, magic user. The reason why I'm doing them separately is because, if you remember, the magic user actually gets a bonus. A bonus on their attack because they have a +1. So we're still going to be in short range. So magic user and halfling. So 1 for the number of people they fight as, 1 for being in short range, same thing. On the white dice, though, 1 of the 2 white dice can get a +1. Any 6s in total here will be a kill. Okay, 1. Okay. That was the 2 party members. They killed 1 of the 5 centaurs. Also, we're not going to allow more morale to break here because they're defending their lair. Now I have 20 archers. Okay. This is why bringing in troops help. So they, again, they're all going to use horse bows, which counts like crossbow. So against a light horse, it's 1 die per 2 men, 6 hits. Again, I have 20 of them, which means I effectively have 10. So I'm going to roll 10 dice here. Any 6s are kills. I'll roll 2 sets of 5s. One. That's unfortunate there was no bonuses there. 2. Okay. Okay. That's the end of that turn. Now, if we win initiative, we will be able to do more or less the exact same thing because we can move actually up to half our movements. And so we can move like 6, or well, actually we have to move 7. No, 6, which would put 7 away. No, yeah. Anyways, let's roll it first. Initiative. We win. Okay. We retreat back. They chase us. At the halfway point, we shoot at them again. Same as before. Magic user, halfling. One of these gets a +1. 1 kill. And then all of our archers are going to let loose. Only 6s are kills here. Nothing. There it is. Okay. They chase us back. Bunch of arrows. Then we, full of energy and vigor, because we just did this, we charge screaming and yelling into the encampment. Their defenders, basically those who have weapons, have all been destroyed. So I'm going to say that the effectively non-combatant centaurs flee. Now keep in mind that there are 18 young here. Now they are not combatants unless they're attacked. But what this effectively means is, since they're fleeing, this centaur lair will remain. It will just have no loot, because we're not going to chase down and kill the non-combatants, because we're not that kind of group. But we are going to stop at the glen, go into their stores, take some of their stuff, their, whatever we need, and we're going to loot it. That's basically our plan for the last turn. We will need to spend the night here, so I am going to do one more roll. We're in their lair. If I roll a wandering monster, I'm going to say the young have decided to fight back. And if that happens, we'll use them. They are less hit die than a regular centaur, so they'll be weaker, but there's a lot of them. So it could be unfortunate for us. So let's, number 1, see if there is an encounter. We're in the woods. On a 5 or a 6, they come back for us. They do not. Okay. I will still do the same technique, though, as we retreat from this area. If we encounter anything in the woods, it might be this centaur young seeking revenge. Just to give you an idea, though, there's a ton of jewelry here. Apparently, centaurs like to keep jewelry. There's only 1,000 silver pieces. Okay? There's plenty of us, so we'll be able to put the stuff on the horses. In fact, we'll probably just give the silver pieces to the archers as a bonus. But this jewelry, 1 worth 750, 2 worth 900, 3 worth 1,000, 1,500, 4 worth 2,000, 2 worth 3,000, 2 worth 4, 2 worth 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10. I believe that's more than enough to pay off our debt, and we'll give these archers a good bonus. So that's the end of that day, which is the 19th of February. So on February 20th, I'm going to say it's going to take us, it's going to take half our movement to move out of this area, if that makes sense. We'll do a full move here, but it'll be half a movement on the main board. Hopefully that makes sense. So do we get lost? We do. Okay. 5. Well, 5 is actually the direction we want to go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're able to get off the board. So that took half our movement on the main board. Let's jump to outdoor survival and get back to town. Pay off our loans and count our loot. All right, it's February 20th. Let's get home. Are we lost? We're on a path. We're only lost on the 1. You know, I'm tempted to go this way. I don't know that it'd be any faster. It'd probably take longer, but no, because these count as 2, so it's not faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this time I will stop out here because, again, I want to try to avoid encounters and I'm not in a rush. There's only an encounter on a 6. No encounter. Next day. Am I lost? No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is there an encounter? No. So that's 20 and 21. Next day. Am I lost? Nope. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and boom, we're home. No encounter because we're at home. That's 3 days. So on February the 23rd, which in real world time is tomorrow, they have arrived back in camp. So again, the rest of the world is moving around them, but they were out there till this point. Okay, one thing I forgot to do, which is super important here, is the system shock roll. When you are raised from the dead, you must make a constitution check, right? They call it system shock in AD&D. I don't think it's called that here. You basically have this check here. It's based on your con. Now, I do things a little bit different here. Some of it's based on just what I know from later editions and what people, house rules and stuff, which is that when you are raised from the dead, your con goes down by 1 point. That's number 1. Number 2, if you fail that roll, for me, it doesn't mean you're just not brought back. It means your con goes down 1 point and then you try again. And obviously you can just keep trying until your con goes to the point where you just can't make it. So we're going to start with our first character, who is our elf. They have a constitution of 10. So a 10 constitution is 70% chance of survival. So again, red first. 86. So no, con goes down to 9. 60% chance. Makes it that time. Con drops to 8. So they're back, but now they have an 8 constitution. This is a little bit less cruel than just, oh, you failed, you're dead, but does still put a cap on it so that eventually, you can't just keep getting raised back from the dead. Our second elf has a constitution of 11. So an 11 con gives them an 80% chance, which they make. So their con drops to 10. And I don't have any spells or anything like that in my game that would necessarily allow you to raise your con. I guess I would let a wish spell do that. They have an 18 con. So 18 con is will survive, because anything over 13, but again, it will still drop to 17. Okay, let's check our cleric. Last one. Their con is 7. Oh boy. Okay, a 7 con is only 40% chance. So our cleric might have bit the dust here. What? 79. Unfortunately, the cleric does not survive. Wow, for people who have been following along, we go through a lot of clerics in this game. Sadly, of all the people who could not be raised was the cleric. Maybe they felt that it was their time. So we have lost one party member, which I will replace. So this will be interesting because we'll see how it plays out with having a new first level party member join a slightly higher level party. So as far as experience points are concerned, because they died, they're not going to get any. That's how that works. Some people, I may have talked about this before, some people like divide the experience points by everybody who was in the party, even if people died. I don't do that. But what I will do is when the party went back with the mercenaries, I'm going to count the mercenary group as basically half a share each as far as the experience points, because I don't think that it would be balanced to give those 2-player characters all that experience points. So I'm going to basically have 12 shares, right? So 10 for the mercenaries, 10 for the 1 each for the party members, and from there, maybe we'll say one of the mercenaries will become one of the new player characters. We'll see how many experience points each mercenary gets. Maybe it's enough to make them like a second level fighter. Although I don't think so. I think I'll probably just roll somebody fresh. I actually want to roll a cleric, so I'll probably roll a couple characters and make sure I get somebody who has a high enough wisdom to make them a decent cleric, because it'd be nice to be a cleric, to have a cleric back in the party. Because I think people have actually mentioned this. I don't think we've seen a single cleric spell cast because we just had some bad luck. Okay, so just as a wrap up, they came back with more than enough loot. I'll do the math, but that's more than enough loot to pay off what they owed. These 3 characters, after 2 weeks, will be able to adventure again. So by the time, and again, that's based on the day they actually got resurrected, which was the 14th. So on, 28th, I guess, would be, of February, they can actually adventure again. If I start playing again before then. If this character is gone, I'm going to roll a new character to take their place. Everybody's got all their armor back, and I'll figure out the experience points for the characters who survived the whole adventure, which was the halfling, the lucky halfling as it would be, and that one magic user, human magic user. Oh man, maybe I have it out for clerics. Their constitution would actually drop to 6, and they do have one more chance, because that would be -2, so they have a 30% chance. This cleric might still be alive. 20. All right. Constitution now drops to 5, which means they can never be raised again. But this cleric did survive. Wow. Okay. If you've been enjoying these actual plays, I'm assuming you have since you got this far, please do take a moment to like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, do all that good YouTube stuff. Also, check down the description below. You will find a link to my Discord server and also my Patreon if you want to support the channel. I'll talk to you soon.